What happens after we die? I mean, it's a question we've all asked ourselves, right? But what if the question itself is the real problem? Today, we're diving into a really profound Buddhist teaching that challenges us to see death not as some kind of destination, but as a total shift in how we see everything.
So, the big question we're tackling is a classic, one that has puzzled thinkers for ages. When an enlightened person dies, where do they go? It's a question that really makes you stop and think about what existence even means.
And this isn't a new question. Thousands of years ago, a spiritual seeker, a wanderer named Vacchagotta, went right up to the Buddha and asked him this exact thing. He was hoping for a straightforward answer. But what he got was something else entirely, a masterclass in changing your whole point of view.
Now, Vacchagotta, he was a logical guy. He tried to corner the answer, laying out every possibility he could think of, kind of like a multiple-choice test. But the Buddha's response? Well, it just completely broke all the rules of logic.
So Vacchagotta asks, okay, are they reborn? The Buddha just says, no. All right, then are they not reborn? No. He tries again. So is it both? Both reborn and not reborn? No. Neither? And again, the Buddha says, no. You can just feel the steam coming out of Vacchagotta's ears with every single no. And Vacchagotta was just completely floored. He basically admits, I'm lost, I'm confused, my faith is shaken. And you can't blame him, right? Every logical door he tried to open was slammed shut in his face.
But the Buddha wasn't trying to be difficult. He totally got it. He looked at Vacchagotta and acknowledged his confusion, basically saying, hey, this is deep stuff. It's hard to get. He knew that logic wasn't going to cut it. It was time for a totally different approach.
So, instead of getting deeper into abstract philosophy, the Buddha points to a simple, everyday image that everyone understands, a fire. And this, right here, is where the light bulb starts to go on.
Just imagine a fire, the Buddha says. It's burning right in front of you. Why is it burning? Because it has fuel, right? Grass, wood, whatever. Its existence depends completely on that fuel. And when the fuel runs out, poof, the fire's gone. It's extinguished. It's so simple, you can't argue with it.
So after painting this super clear picture, the Buddha asks a question that just flips the whole conversation on its head.
He turns to Vacchagotta and asks, when that flame went out, which direction did it go? Did it travel north? Did it go south? East? West?
And of course, Vacchagotta is speechless. The question itself is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. A flame doesn't pack its bags and travel somewhere when it goes out. It just ceases to be. It stops. It's an end, not a journey. And that brilliant, simple analogy brings us right back to that original, complicated question about the enlightened being, but now we've got a completely new way to look at it.
The Buddha basically says, an enlightened person is just like that flame. To ask where did they go is to ask the wrong question. Their being isn't defined by a place or direction. The fuel that causes rebirth, all the craving, the attachment, the ignorance, it's been completely used up.
To really get this, there's a key term we need to know. Agati gati. It's from the ancient language of Pali, and it literally means coming and going. This coming and going is the engine of samsara, that endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. So the logic is actually pretty simple. If there is coming and going, there's birth and death. It's a cycle. But for an enlightened being, the fuel for that cycle is gone. The conditions for it to happen again just aren't there. So the process of coming and going has simply stopped. And this is the real aha moment. The original question, where do they go? It assumes there's a they that has to go somewhere. But the teaching reveals that the very process of going has ceased. The question itself was built on a misunderstanding. So, if all that coming and going stops, what happens? What's the result? Well, it's the ultimate goal of the entire path, the final, absolute end of all suffering.
And the Buddha's words here are just so powerful. He says that when this cycle of agati gati stops, nothing of that cycle remains. Not in this world, not in the next, not anywhere in between. It is a total, complete end. This final state is called parinirvana. And that root word nirvana, it literally means to blow out, just like you'd blow out a candle flame. See the connection? This isn't a place you go to. It's the state of ultimate peace that arrives when the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion are finally completely extinguished.
And with that, the Buddha delivers his final answer, the end of coming and going, the extinguishing of that flame. That is the end of suffering.
It's not a destination, but a final, peaceful conclusion to the journey itself.
So, what can we take away from all this? In our own lives, we're always coming and going, aren't we? Chasing the next thing, the next achievement, the next place. What would it actually feel like to be free from that constant cycle of striving? What would it mean to just stop and simply be?